Pep Guardiola, relishing the fresh problem facing Manchester City, Liverpool and Arsenal. Pep Guardiola is enjoying the unpredictable nature of this season's Premier League, with the likes of Bournemouth and Sunderland challenging the elite of Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal and Chelsea. Pep Guardiola has lauded the unpredictable nature of the Premier League ahead of Manchester City's game with Bournemouth this weekend. The Cherries head to the Etihad above City in the table after a fine start to the season, while newly promoted Sunderland sit fourth. This is the first time since 1992 that the top four at this stage of a campaign does not include City, Manchester United, Chelsea or Liverpool. And while Guardiola would obviously love the Blues to be clear at the top, he is relishing the new-look top flight and the competitive nature of a division where every team has lost at least once. The City chief drew a parallel with the NBA, a league he follows closely, which has had different winners in each of the last 7 seasons. Guardiola believes the unpredictable nature of the top flight offers more entertainment for supporters and improves the Premier League product. I remember when I was in Munich or Barcelona, I always heard the rumours that in England everyone could beat everyone. I always had that sense, Guardiola said. Maybe Liverpool and ourselves in the past changed that dynamic because we were so consistent in terms of points and arriving every season with 90 points, close to 100 points. But I think the Premier League has always been like this. All the teams can beat each other. It is good. At some point, like NBA, there is not a dominant team in the last 4 or 5 or 6 years. There is always one different team, and everyone can beat everyone. I think for the spectator and for the show of the Premier League, it is really, really good. And while the traditional Big Six are all currently in the top 9, Bournemouth are an example of a relative Premier League newcomer, gate-crashing the upper echelons of the table. Andoni Iraola's side have lost only just 1 league game this season, despite losing several key players in the summer when first-choice stars Dean Huijsen, Ilya Zabani, Milos Kerkez and Dango Ouattara all departed. It shows how coordinated they are with the sporting director, the manager, the players with a clear philosophy that doesn't change, Guardiola said of Bournemouth. The players change a lot of things, but it is impressive when you lose 3 or 4 from the back 4 to PSG, Real Madrid and Liverpool, and you reinvest in the team with new players. There is a lot of good work behind the scenes. Behind the scenes, one Manchester City player is reinventing himself as a Guardiola favourite. Incredible. Matheus Nunes has impressed in recent weeks at right back for Manchester City. Matheus Nunes used to work in a bakery while juggling a burgeoning football career in Portugal's 5th tier. Now he's beginning to cook at Manchester City. Nunes has emerged as first choice right back for City this season, with Abdukodir Kusanov's injury, John Stones' versatility, and Rico Lewis seemingly dropping down the pecking order, meaning the 27-year-old Nunes is the front runner for a problem position. City opted not to sign a right back in the summer window, having assessed the market following Kyle Walker's exit and deemed their in-house options sufficient given the calibre of player available and the squad spend elsewhere. Newcastle's Tino Livramento, capable of playing on both sides, was looked at, but once Ryan Ait-Nouri arrived, that pursuit went cold. City ultimately felt they were best placed to carry on with what they had. And while the position and players are still a work in progress, Nunes has started to find his feet. He was poor in the defeat to Brighton in August, but has improved steadily since, and Pep Guardiola believes he can go on to become an incredible right-back. Manager and player are in regular conversations about the position, with the City chief having deemed Nunes not good enough to command starts in the middle of midfield. The former Sporting Lisbon man has taken the change on board and has accepted Guardiola's challenge. It's a question for him now, said Guardiola this month. He can be an incredible right-back because he's a holding midfielder with incredible physicality. As much as he's focused, he can become one of the best. It's just change your mind and feel that you can feel it. You have this special attribute to play in the sides. Guardiola believes Nunes' physicality is a key attribute, perhaps even more so this term given the Premier League trend for set pieces and long throws. The City boss values Nunes' desire to improve and his personality. For his part, Nunes, who moved from Brazil to Portugal as a 13-year-old, has in the last few weeks seemed to grasp the position a little more. There have been improved defensive displays, better positional awareness, and a greater understanding of the balance between defence and attack. He was afforded the night off in midweek as City survived a Carabao Cup scare at Swansea, but is in line to return to the team for the Premier League visit of Bournemouth on Sunday. Guardiola described him as one of the best players in the world today after City beat a Sporting side containing the midfielder 5-0 in the Champions League in 2022. The challenge now is to earn that praise again in his new position. Manchester City given double injury boost ahead of Bournemouth amid Erling Haaland and Rodri update. Manchester City will have Erling Haaland and Rodri available for the visit of Bournemouth in the Premier League on Sunday. Erling Haaland will be fit for Manchester City's Premier League game with Bournemouth on Sunday. Haaland collided with a post at Aston Villa and was not involved at Swansea, a game in which he would likely have been rested for regardless of his fitness. But Pep Guardiola confirmed the frontman will be fit to feature against the Cherries. City are also set to welcome Rodri back into the squad. The 29-year-old is back in full training, but City are being understandably cautious with his recovery, given the stop-start nature of his season. Guardiola said on Friday that the Spain international is set to be involved against Bournemouth. I think he will be ready to help us. I don't know if from the beginning, but hopefully he can be with us, said the City chief. Mateo Kovacic was absent from the squad for the midweek Carabao Cup victory over Swansea City, with the midfielder being described as not fully fit. The Croatia international has yet to start a match for City this season, having undergone Achilles surgery in the summer. City welcome back a clutch of players from injury in South Wales with Omar Marmoush, Abdukodir Kusanov and Ryan Ait-Nouri starting after extended layoffs. Hello and welcome to our live coverage of Pep Guardiola's press conference ahead of Manchester City's Premier League clash with Bournemouth. The Blues find themselves 2 points and 3 places behind Andoni Iraola's side, heading into the weekend with the Cherries having made a flying start to the season. City were beaten at Aston Villa last weekend, but bounced back to winning ways in midweek when they came from behind to see off Swansea City in the Carabao Cup. The visit of Bournemouth offers a chance for Guardiola's side to reassert themselves towards the top of the table, and the City chief will give his verdict on Iraola's side, as well as provide an injury updates. Hopefully Pep will have some positive injury updates to bring us this afternoon. The City boss spoke about Rodri on Tuesday, saying Rodri still is not ready, he is getting better. Training with us. After what happened 2 times within the muscle, we'll see. No, I don't have an idea on when he will be available. Hopefully soon, but not yet. A Manchester City fan group wants to talk about 115 this weekend. As the wait for the verdict into the Premier League charges continues, MCFC fans' food bank support will reach that number of collections when they take donations at the men's and women's games. MCFCFFS started in 2020, shortly before the pandemic hit, with the aim of helping the local community through football fans. While not affiliated with the club, the group stand outside the Etihad or the Joy Stadium on match days and use the support they get from Blues to provide vital support to the increasing number of people who need it. Crazy is the word that comes out of Rayan Cherki's mouth when he's asked for a description of what Pep Guardiola is like. And when he immediately follows it up by calling himself crazy, it isn't hard to understand that Manchester City's summer signing is thrilled with his new environment. Cherki made just his second start of the season in the 3-1 Carabao Cup win over Swansea, having been sidelined for 6 weeks with a thigh injury. It was frustrating for the Frenchman, who scored off the bench on his debut at Wolves, and in his absence Tijani Reinders and Phil Foden locked down the central midfield positions. What 2 Manchester City players did versus Swansea proved Pep Guardiola right, and offers Haaland's solution. Jeremy Doku and Omar Marmoush were among the goals, as Manchester City beat Swansea City in the Carabao Cup. For large parts of Wednesday night's Carabao Cup tie in Wales, Manchester City seemed to lean into the narrative that without Erling Haaland, they're a blunt attack. The Blues struggled to create clear-cut chances against Swansea, with their equaliser against the Championship club owing a fair amount to good fortune, given the hefty deflection that took Jeremy Doku's effort into the goal. Haaland will have watched on from afar, having not travelled as Pep Guardiola gave a few of his most worked players so far this season the night off. Haaland has 11 of City's 17 Premier League goals this term. The only other player to find the net more than once in the top flight for the Blues doesn't even play for the club. Maxime Esteve, who put through his own net twice at the Etihad when Burnley were beaten 5-1 in September, is probably as keen as anyone to see someone else grasp the goal-scoring mantle for City, given his name keeps cropping up amid the statistical scoring quirk. Perhaps Wednesday night might finally be the catalyst for two City players to help carry the goal-scoring burden. Doku netted the first, while Omar Marmoush, on his first start since an injury sustained playing for Egypt in early September, rifled in a second. On paper, the pair have a crucial part to play in this City attack, with Doku beginning to turn his potential into consistent performances, and Marmoush having showcased his goal-scoring ability during his first few months in Manchester last term. Guardiola had spoken about the pair in the lead-up to the Swansea tie with the City chief, keen to see those not named Haaland take some goal-scoring responsibility. In the dribbles, nobody is better than Doku. But in goals, Omar is better than Doku. To score goals, we need Doku, and to score goals, we also need Omar. And both of them have to defend, said Guardiola. So the City boss will have been pleased to see both on target in midweek. The prospect of pushing Marmoush alongside Haaland is also very much in the manager's thoughts, with Doku key to that potential strategy. The number